Hello and welcome to the cloth diaper review. My name is Carmen. Welcome back if you have watched one of my videos before, and welcome. Hey, how's it going? Glad you're here. If this is the first time that you're meeting me. So today is the third day of the Cloth Collective Initiative for 2022, and the prompt for the day is all discussing ways to cloth on a tighter budget and then cloth diapering on in a pinch. So I feel like I don't have anything revolutionary to bring to cloth diapering on a tighter budget. However, what I'm going to share with you today is ways that I have personally implicated different things to cut down on the cost of cloth diapering for us, specifically with absorbency. And I am also going to shout out Morgan over at Cloth Outfitter. I will tag her blog below, and she's also available on Instagram with the same handle, Cloth Outfitter. And she just really recently did a segment about cloth diapering on quite a small budget and her experience with it. She did through everything that she could find locally, so thrift stores, Facebook Marketplace, that kind of thing, and not only shows what she used, but also her experience and her feedback about stuff, what she would do differently, what worked really well for her. So I want to direct you over there because I thought that was a very neat project that she put together within the last month or so. Okay, so as I mentioned, most of the things that I have done to minimize cost on cloth diapering centers around absorbency. So there's a few outliers on here. Let's start with those. So one thing that I did was that I made a bunch of fleece liners. I did go ahead and serge on these because this is a poly fleece. It's not going to fray at all, just the nature of the way that the fabric has been woven. I have access to a serger and a sewing machine. I do that in my hobby, free time, but you don't have to do that. Nothing weird is going to happen. It's not going to ravel in the washing machine or anything. And I just, went what's the size of an insert and made it just slightly shorter, and that's what I put in instead of an athletic wicking jersey liner or something like that. I only have a couple of them, and I did get this fabric from Joann's. I bought it not with a coupon but on a special. They frequently have 40 or 50% off, but you can do this even more inexpensively by purchasing the fleece blankets that are available at Walmart. They're a couple dollars and they're quite large, even a yard of fabric. You can get a lot of these out of that. So for a few dollars you can make a bunch of liners. I like this for stay dry, but also as a liner in a diaper, it does make cleanup, in my experience, a little bit better. And then the other thing that doesn't have to do with absorbency is that I have made little fleece shorties. I now know that there are free patterns online. I did pattern this myself, but there are free patterns online, and even better, there are tutorials on YouTube that will show you how to put this together if you are someone who's not super familiar with the way that garments are constructed. So this is a really great and less expensive alternative to wool covers or something like this. Now this is water resistant. It's not waterproof. It will get damp on the outside depending on if you do put additional wetness layers in there. This is just 2 layers of there. But I really like this for the elastic free aspect, and it's good for cover free time, just to wick away moisture and things like that. So similarly to this, you can do them with just a fleece blanket from Walmart, or I think I got this fabric out of the remnant bin at Joann Fabric. So if you're looking for maybe some different prints or something like that, and you are able to spend a couple extra dollars, don't skip the remnant bin. There's, I feel always some sort of poly fleece in there, because poly fleece is so popular for pajama pants and tie blankets and things like that. So let's talk some of the ways that I have minimized the amount of money that I've spent on absorbency. So first thing, I talk about them quite frequently. Flour sack towels. Don't underestimate these. I mostly hand dye them. These are a couple newer ones. I came across them in a local store that they are like a little bit thicker and they weigh a little bit more. So I do think they absorb more than these ones, but these are just from Walmart. They come in quite a large bundle pack. So for us, a 1 flour sack towel works totally fine during the daytime. Nap time, I do boost, and I boost with either, I don't have one in here with me, but with 100% cotton, like terry fabric, so like a towel or a washcloth. They're washcloths. They're from Walmart. I think you can get an 18 pack for $7 or $8, and that's what I boost with for nap time. Or another thing that I made that I will show you. But we have had good luck with this. I know that it's not going to work for every child because every child has different absorbency needs, and those absorbency needs will change throughout a child's life as they grow and develop. They will have different absorbency needs. So you could theoretically, go ahead and boost these with each other, or like a washcloth, like I said. Basically, you can use anything that absorbs liquid in a diaper. Obviously, with microfiber, it needs to not be touching the baby's hip, or else you get a really bad rash. But speaking of microfiber, so if you have a microfiber insert, an inexpensive way to boost a microfiber insert is to just go ahead and lay the microfiber insert inside of a flour sack towel, and then you have a little bit more of a boost on that. So that is an inexpensive way. If you do have quite a bit of microfiber insert, get a little bit more mileage out of microfiber inserts. That is not an incredibly expensive investment. What I was mentioning that I also boost the flour sack towels with is we received some of these 100% muslin swaddles. And we just kind of didn't really use them, but they are super nice. So what I ended up doing was going ahead and making these tiny little boosters. I think that these were like 5 layers, and then I just serged around it. Now this is going to fray, as you can see on here. I didn't catch one of the edges on here, but it's been fine. Like, these have been used many times, and I got quite a few out of them. I don't have all of them in here. That is a way that, if you've received a lot of these and it's just not something that you're using, it's going to absorb, and it acts as a great booster. Another thing that you can put inside of there is a receiving blanket. I feel like many people get way too many receiving blankets. It's quite a common gift to gift a family that is having little ones. I only got a couple of them, and I don't know where they are, to be honest with you, because when I used these ones, they, like, the liquid repelled off of them, so I don't know if they maybe had a weird coating. However, I did have a bunch of flannel downstairs, so same thing. I cut this out. I think this was like 26 by 26 maybe, serged around the edges, and then this, pad folded up. This works totally fine. So I think that maybe the receiving blankets that I had were just like coated in something, because this is also flannel and those were cotton flannel, and this works totally fine. And this is also something that is quite commonly on sale at like a Joann's or in a remnant bin. So definitely always look at the remnant bin for what you might find in there for absorbency. A couple other things that I have repurposed. So this was a pack and play bed sheet. And just hand dyed the whole thing. I think that this was like at the end of like colors that I had left, so it's not like anything impressive, and I'm pretty sure I just like scrunched it up. But I hand dyed that all, then cut the elastic, doubled it up, and went ahead and serged around, and then I just use it like a little bifold type thing, and that works totally fine. It's 100% cotton. If you have a spouse in the military, you might recognize the color of this t-shirt. This used to be a military issue t-shirt, but a ton of them were 100% cotton, and these are not the colors that are used anymore, so they had to like get on the uniforms, and let's not even get into textile waste with that. But as you'll see, this is the shape of a contour because I drew out a contour, and then what I boost with that, and that's 2 layers. And then, for example, this used to be a Moby wrap, and it just like didn't work for us, but the fabric was so good. So that this is two of them that I folded together and then serged. And I also have some that I made like really big pieces, kind of like this one, that I just would fold up like this to use as a booster. Obviously this has a pretty low GSM, so I will even take like one of the muslin pieces and boost it even more with that and throw it in there. And I think that this is a really nice way to try out like a contour or a pre-fold. I have a ton of pre-folds and contours that I have made from t-shirts that were 100% cotton, to repurpose things like that. And not only repurpose them, but see if you like this style of diapering before you're investing in something that maybe has a bit higher price tag, because it's you know, work at home mom, higher quality fabrics, more layers of fabrics and things like that. But I think this is an excellent way if you have obviously access to a sewing machine. I know I'm mentioning a lot of things that require a sewing machine, but it's something that is quite second nature to me, to just look at something and be like, I could make that maybe. And I know that I mentioned a serger on a lot of these things. I just happen to have a serger, but you could accomplish the same thing or a very similar thing. The reason that I'm using a serger is because I don't want things to fray. You can quite easily achieve that using a zigzag stitch on a standard machine. So even if you don't own a machine, maybe you know someone that owns a machine, you could borrow it. Or quite frequently I see them in thrift stores for like $5 to $10. Sometimes they are more. Or like garage sales, Facebook Marketplace, things like that. A couple ways that you could obtain a sewing machine for much less than several $100s, up to, I mean, sewing machines can be like thousands of dollars. I don't have anything that's that expensive. I just want to point that out because I know that I'm mentioning a lot of things that require a sewing machine, and I don't want people to feel disgruntled by that. One last thing that I have is a stretchy flat, which I like anything that's flat. As you can tell, a lot of things that I have shown you is relatively flat somehow that you fold it, because it makes washing just so easy. It's so much easier to wash when you have like a single or double layer of fabric. But what I have here, this is a stretchy flat from Happy Behinds. This is an excellent way to see if you even like stretchy flats. I find to be very absorbent, like nap time with this. This is so good at nap time. And my son is a tummy sleeper, and this is like, if this isn't a diaper, I know we're good. Nothing's gonna happen. There's gonna be no leak on there. Excellent way to save a considerable amount of money on a stretchy flat, to see if you even like it. Also, it's just it's good. Like, this works totally fine for us, and it dries excellently in the dryer, and I want things to dry fast. As I mentioned before, if it absorbs liquid, you can shove it in a pocket or something like that. Again, if it's microfiber, don't put it next to the baby. The baby will have a terrible rash from it. It will be very, very bad time for everybody involved. So yeah, you can put whatever t-shirts that you have. I know Ashley from Crust on Tuesday, she's used denim, like 100% cotton denim inside of a diaper. Like, if it absorbs, you can use it. So that is it for this video. I hope that you have enjoyed learning about what different ways that I have saved myself money on inserts. On an average day, the large amount of what is in my pocket diapers or covers or things like that is something that I've made or I have procured and repurposed for using it as an insert. That's all for day 3 of the Cloth Collective Initiative for 2022 during Diaper Awareness Week. I want to remind you that I have links. I'll put my, is it Linktree? Linktree, whatever it is. And that will transport you to information about the cloth option if you would like to cloth diaper but cannot financially go ahead and get started with it. Also, there is a link to the National Diaper Banks that will help you get in contact with services that will be able to put you in connection with disposable diapers if you would like to go that route. I want to remind you that it's not all or nothing with cloth diapering. You can do whatever you want as long as your baby is able to have a clean diaper at the end of the day. That's what's most important. So I hope that both of those organizations would be able to help you. Also, in that link, if you are in the North Dakota area, it will put you in contact with the food banks that are across the state, along with if you are needing free healthcare, specifically within pregnancy. Also, both of the maternity homes that are in the state, if you are in a crisis pregnancy and you have no place else to turn to, and also with the foster care system. We need foster parents more than ever. If you have room for one more in the state of North Dakota, I would really encourage you to click on that link also. So all of those links will be in the Linktree, whatever it is, down below in the Dropbox. So I will see you tomorrow for day 4 of our Diaper Awareness Week. Thanks for watching.